Okay, I will explain that in the last part. Okay, so kinetic energy of one molecule you can write as half mu RMS square. So then what is kinetic energy of 1 mole of gas?
Mom, is half Na mu RMS square.
Half
Avogadro's number, Na
Na
mu RMS square.
mu RMS square. So,
Mom, could you go back to the previous slide?
okay. When I got disconnected,
Yeah.
after Gale-Zeiss law explanation or before that?
Mom, while you were explaining Gale, that's what.
Oh. Na? Huh, Avogadro's number 6.022 into 10 raised to 23. Okay, can I go?
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay, kinetic energy of 1 mole of gas, I can write half into Na into m into u RMS square. Can I rewrite this? Is it possible? Can I rewrite this in any other form? Na into m, can you relate it with some other term?
Molar mass.
Yes, it is molar mass. So I can also write it is equal to half into molar mass into u RMS square. And kinetic energy of n mole of gas, the same manner you can write into n mole of gas, it is equal to half into n into Na into mu RMS square, and I can rewrite this into half into n into molar mass into u RMS square. So these are the formulas for finding kinetic energy of gas. And I can rewrite this one, PV. PV is equal to 1/3 mn u RMS square. And I know kinetic energy of one molecule is equal to half m u RMS square. So if I'm rewriting this, I can write 2/3 into 1/2, 2/3 n into 1/2 mu RMS square, or 2/3 n into kinetic energy of one molecule. So PV is equal to 2/3 into 2/3 into kinetic energy of one molecule. And can you please derive what is kinetic energy of one molecule in terms of R and T. Derive kinetic energy of, okay, kinetic energy of, okay, no need. So I can write this PV is equal to, as we know, if I'm writing this PV for 1 mole, what will be the change? If I'm writing kinetic energy, this equation, the same equation, if I'm writing for 1 mole, what change will happen? If I'm writing it for 1 mole, what change will happen?
N becomes Na.
Okay, N becomes Na. Since it is 1 mole, number of molecules will become Avogadro's number. So it will be equal to 2/3 into Na into kinetic energy of molecule. So I can write this. So kinetic energy of one molecule into Na number of molecules. Kinetic energy of one molecule into Na number of molecules. Kinetic energy of one molecule into Na number of molecules, which will be equal to
Kinetic energy of 1 mole.
1 mole molecules, right? Kinetic energy of 1 mole, or I can write kinetic energy per mole. So what is kinetic energy of per mole in terms of R and T? Kinetic energy per mole
3/2 RT.
of R and T. What?
3/2 RT.
Yes, it is 3/2 RT. And how it's comes? We know.
NRT, lowercase
Yes.
n and NRT becomes 1. So
Yes.
PV equals RT.
So kinetic energy per mole, I can write it is equal to 3/2 into PV. And I know for 1 mole, PV is equal to RT. So I can write kinetic energy per mole, it's equal to 3/2 RT. So by this expression, you can say that kinetic energy of average kinetic energy of molecule depends only on temperature, and R is a universal constant, and 3/2 will not change in any condition, and R is a constant at any condition and temperature. So kinetic energy, average kinetic energy only depends on temperature, or it is a function of temperature. And then what will be the kinetic energy of one molecule from this equation? What will be the kinetic energy of one molecule?
3/2 RT by Na.
Yes, this is for Na molecule, or this is for one molecule, 1 mole of molecules. So I can write it is equal to 3/2 RT divided by Na. And this R by Na, it is a new constant K, and it's known as Boltzmann constant. And it is known.
Now what's the spelling?
BOLTZS Boltz, not okay. Boltzmann's constant. MANNS constant. Boltzmann constant. And we know the value of R and we know the value of N. Then find the value of, so I can rewrite kinetic energy of one molecule is equal to 3/2 kT. So K is the constant which we will use for one molecule, and R is for 1 mole. R by Na is Boltzmann constant. Then what will be the value of Boltzmann constant in terms of joules? So if I'm taking R in terms of joule and Na, you know the value, then find Boltzmann constant value in terms of joule. Find Boltzmann constant value. What is the value of Boltzmann constant in terms of joule?
I'm getting 1.38 times 10 to the power minus 20.
Yes. So K, you can write R by Na, and the value of R in terms of joule, it is 8.314. It is 8.314 joule, Kelvin inverse, mole inverse, and number of moles, it is 6.022 into 10⁻23 per mole. So the value will be 1.38 into 10⁻⁻23 joule per Kelvin, or joule Kelvin inverse. So the value of Boltzmann constant in terms of joule, it is 1.38 into 10 raised to minus 23 joule per Kelvin. So kinetic energy per mole, you know the equation, it is 3/2 RT, and kinetic energy per molecule, it is 3/2 kT, and kinetic energy for n mole, it will be equal to 3/2 nRT. It will be equal to n 3/2 nRT. So note down these equations. What is that question? Just a minute. So your problem comes here. Calculate the kinetic energy of 32 gram of O2 gas at 27 degrees Celsius temperature. Is that clear for everyone? Kinetic energy.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So your question, calculate kinetic energy of 32 gram of oxygen gas at 27 degrees Celsius temperature. $32 grams of oxygen. How much mole?
1 more.
Mole.
1 mole. So which equation you will use?
KE mole equals 3/2 RT.
Yes, 3/2. So 3/2 RT, it's simple. Should I take T is equal to 27 degrees Celsius or in?
We're gonna take 300 Kelvin.
It should be in Kelvin. I told you in thermodynamics that the Kelvin scale temperature, it is also known as thermodynamic scale temperature. And in thermodynamics and in physical chemistry, we use this temperature in Kelvin only, or it is the actual measurement of temperature. You don't know? Why? You should. What is the value of R?
I think we have to take 8.314 here, right?
Yes, 8.314. Joule, Kelvin inverse, mole inverse. So 3/2 into 8.314 into 300. So what is the value? And in competitive exams, like instead of taking 8.314, you can take 25/3. Yes, which will be equal to 8.333 only. But in like objective question, option will be there. So if you got the approximate value, you can just easily select that. And if you're writing the subjective test exam, you have to use the 8.314 value itself. But for competitive exam, for objective types of exam, you can calculate this R, you can take as 25/3. Then calculation will be easy. So what is the answer? It should be,
Ma'am, I got 3741.3 joules.
yeah,
Yes.
3741.3
joules.
Okay. So if you are taking 25/3,
0.3 joules.
okay. If you are taking 25/3, you will get 3750 joule. And it is just near to this value. And you know that you have to use the logic. Sometimes 3752 joule will be there in the option, and you have to use the logic. The value which you take, it is more than the actual value of R. So you will get an answer which is, by approximation, you will get an answer which is slightly higher than the actual value. So the answer should be slightly lesser than the value you got by approximation. So the next question, kinetic energy of a gas sample at 27 degrees Celsius is E. What will be its kinetic energy in terms of E at 227 degrees Celsius?
Ma'am,
Yes.
And I have a doubt in the previous question.
Okay.
And what's the role of 32 here?
Rule of?
32 grams. Remember, because
Yeah, it's actually you can write 3/2 nRT equation. Okay.
Yes.
Kinetic energy of n moles and it is 32 gram. So number of moles will be 32 divided by 32, which is equal to 1. So you can use this equation and substitute n is equal to 1, or in the first step itself you can understand it is 1 mole and you can use the equation for kinetic energy of 1 mole.
Yes, ma'am, got it. Thank you.
Here I use kinetic energy of 1 mole equation, and if you are using this equation you should substitute n is equal to.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the next question, kinetic energy of a gas sample at 27 degrees Celsius is E. What will be its kinetic energy in terms of E at 227 degrees Celsius? So here gas sample means amount is not given. So you can use the equation, any equation you can use. Either you can use kinetic energy of 1 mole, or either you can use kinetic energy of 1 molecule, or you can use kinetic energy of n mole. And if you are using any of this equation, you will get the same answer, because amount of gas is not specified here. So you can take this E as kinetic energy of 1 molecule or 1 mole or n mole. And the resultant thing is, like, if you are taking E as kinetic energy of 1 molecule at 227 degrees Celsius, you can express the kinetic energy in terms of E, kinetic energy of 1 molecule in terms of E. And if you are taking 1 mole, it will be same. Like if you are using any equation, the answer should be same since the amount of gas is not given in the equation. If they specified that you have to calculate the kinetic energy of 1 molecule, you have to use that equation. Or otherwise, you can use any of the equations. So what will be the answer?
5/3.
Yes, ma'am. 5/3.
Yes, 5/3.
Oh, ma'am, I think it would be simpler if we use KE is directly proportional to T.
Yes,
So KE,
that is the
KE1 by
simple
T1
thing.
equals KE.
Yes, that I'm going to say, which is the, yeah, I will prefer that only, or that is the simpler way. And we know that kinetic energy in any equation, if it is for 1 mole, it is 3/2 RT. And if it is for n mole, if it is 3/2 nRT. For 1 molecule, if it is 3/2 kT. And this R is a constant, and you can directly use the equation. Kinetic energy is directly proportional to T. In these cases, like the comparison cases, actually you can directly use the equation. So it's simply, I can tell you the both case. And if you're using kinetic energy of 1 is equal to E, I'm using 3/2 kT, or if you're using 3/2 RT, or if you're using 3/2 nRT, nothing going to happen, both will be same. And the kinetic energy of 2. Okay, this temperature, it is 300 Kelvin. I can write kinetic energy 2, E2 is equal to 3/2 K into 500. I can rewrite this as 3/2 K into 500 divided by 300 into 300. So this is 500 by 300 into 3/2 into K into 300. And 3/2 into K into 300 is E. So I can rewrite this 500 by 300 into E, or 5E by 3. And if you are using the proportionality thing, the kinetic energy, the first kinetic energy, it is E, and E is directly proportional to that temperature, which is 27 degrees Celsius. So 300. And if I'm taking the second temperature as E2, E2 is directly proportional to 500. So E by E1, E by E2 is equal to 300 by 500. So E2 will be equal to And this I can cancel. E2 will be equal to 5E5. And this is the easier method. The next question. Kinetic energy of 80 gram of CH4 at 227 degrees Celsius is X. At what temperature kinetic energy will be 3X? Can you please tell me without asking anything, without thinking about anything? What will be the answer? Just in 2 seconds. You
3.
3.
3 times 3. 1 second. 3 by 5.
I'm asking temperature. 3 by 5 Kelvin.
No. 1 second. 1500 Kelvin.
Yes, it is 1500. Simply, kinetic energy is directly proportional to temperature. This is V directly proportional to T, Charles law. And whatever we have applied in Charles law, you can use the techniques in this. Kinetic energy is directly proportional to temperature. And if it is directly proportional, if I am increasing the kinetic energy by 200%, temperature should increase by 200%. If I'm doubling this, temperature will also double. And if I'm tripling this, temperature should also triple. So here it is tripling. So the temperature should triple. And it is 227 degrees Celsius, which is equal to 500 Kelvin. So 3 into 500 Kelvin, which is equal to 1500 Kelvin. I can use kinetic energy of 1 is equal to T1. Kinetic energy of 2 is directly proportional to T2, and kinetic energy of this is not working, so you can write kinetic energy of 1 by kinetic energy of 2. Kinetic energy of 1 by kinetic energy of 2 is equal to T1 by T2. So X by 3X, it's equal to 500 divided by T2. So T2, X and X will cancel out, and T2 is equal to 3 into 500. It's equal to 1500 Kelvin. That is the easier way. Like just for understanding, I write these things, and you don't want to think about it. If it is an objective question, like if it is an subjective question, you should write 2 steps. So you can write this, and if it is an objective question, you can just simply, okay, it is tripling and temperature should triple, so 1500 is an easy question. And if you are following that K is equal to 3 by 2 RT, it is a difficult question.
Ma'am, can you just scroll up back to the question?
Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next question. At what temperature kinetic energy of 20 gram of He sample is same as kinetic energy of 80 gram of O2 at 127 degrees Celsius? So here number of moles matters because they are asking for kinetic energy of 20 gram of He sample. So you should consider the number of moles also. So what should be the answer? Kinetic energy of, first you can just kinetic energy. No, it's not the same thing. There is a difference. Like what we are asking is kinetic energy of 20 gram of He sample is equal to kinetic energy of 80 gram of O2. So what is kinetic energy of 20 gram of He sample? And 20 gram means number of moles of He. Here it will be 20 divided by 4 is equal to 5. And number of moles of O2 will be equal to 80 divided by 32 is equal to 2.5. So the number,
Ma'am, is it 200 Kelvin?
sorry?
Is it 200 Kelvin?
Yes, it's 200. Here they are asking the kinetic energy of 5 moles of He is equal to kinetic energy of 2.5 moles of O2. So you have to use the equation and you have to find it. And you can use 3/2. So you can write kinetic energy of H2 is equal to kinetic energy of O2. So 3/2 into N. So you can use kinetic energy of N mole equation, which is N 3/2 RT. So here N is 5. So 3/2 into T, you have to find T of He is equal to N, it is 2.5 into 3/2, and you don't need to substitute the value of R since R and R will cancel out. So R into 400. Actually, you don't need to write these things. This is an equation which V1 T1 is equal to V2 T2. You got that? Or kinetic energy 1 into temperature 1 is equal to kinetic energy of 2 into temperature 2. Okay, not kinetic energy, number of moles. Since here number of moles are different. Okay, that you can't apply. There is a problem. Since actually what is happening, kinetic energy is a constant here, and N1 T1 is equal to N2 T2 you can write, but you don't want to think about like that much. That will be difficult, right? Yes. So TH is equal to 2.5 into 400 divided by 5 is equal to 200. So the answer is 200 Kelvin. The next thing, the next one is speed possessed by gas molecules. So as we know, gases are in random motion and they will collide each other and their speed will change and the molecules will have different speeds. And to express the speed, we usually use these 3 speeds, which one is mean average speed and one is root mean square speed and the next one is most probable speed. So the first one, it is most probable speed. As the name indicates, that is most probable. The probability of having this speed, it is high. So this is the velocity, or this is this. Okay, you can write the speed. Since I write it as speed, it should be speed. So this is the speed possessed by a maximum fraction of molecule. So if I'm taking a container, it has 500 molecules. So the most probable speed, which means the speed, so some speed will have like most of the molecules will have some speed, which is like, if I'm telling, sorry, this is not working.
I'm adding it. What do you mean by speed versus the maximum fraction of molecules?
Just a minute, just a minute. This is also black. Like, if we are using this, it will go stuck. Just a minute, like the screen, it's complete black for me. So I can't do anything. Actually, the most probable speed, it is like if I have 500 molecules, maybe 300 molecule will have a same speed, which means the total number of molecule, total number of molecule, most of the molecule is having a certain velocity, which is known as most probable velocity, or since it is having like just a minute. Yes, I didn't press it. Just a minute. So it is the speed which has maximum probability, the speed which has maximum probability of finding, or speed processed by maximum fraction of molecule. It's just like if we have a container contains 500 molecule, among that among that 300 molecule is having a just a minute. If we have 500 molecule, among that 300 molecule is having a particular velocity. Just take it as 5 meter per second. Then this 5 meter per second, we call this as most probable velocity or most probable speed. We'll denote this as VMP. Which means if you are taking the fraction 3/5, fraction of molecule is having a velocity which is 5 meter per second. And so the probability of finding the speed is also actually 3/5, or it is maximum. The speed possessed by maximum fraction of molecule is known as most probable speed. Or you can think like that. The probability of finding the speed in a collection of molecule will be high, or most of the molecule is moving with this velocity. So that is known as most probable speed. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am. Now it's clear.
Okay. So speed possessed by maximum fraction of molecule is known as most probable speed, and that you can denote VMP is equal to root 2 RT by M for 1 mole. And if what will be the most probable speed for 1 molecule? What will be the most probable speed for 1 molecule? This is for 1 mole, okay? Instead of R, what will come? I'm writing it for 1 molecule.
Ma'am, capital M is molar mass or mass? What is
This is
capital?
molar mass, okay. Right, T is temperature in Kelvin, and R, okay, I will tell you, M is molar mass. And R is universal gas constant and M is molar mass. Then if I'm writing the most probable velocity for 1 molecule, what will be the equation? This is not needed. Actually, you can just remember the equation for 1 molecule, the constant will be K, and the mass, and this is small m. Small m means mass of 1 molecule. And the next one is average speed. As the name indicates, it is average. Average of all molecular speeds is known as average speed. V average. V average. I can write if n molecules, if n molecules having velocities v1, v2, etc., vn respectively, the V average, what is V average then? If n molecules having velocity, having speed, since we are talking about speed, having speed v1, v2, the difference is like speed. If we are talking about velocity, direction matters. The magnitude is same. So n molecules having speed v1, v2, etc., vn. How you will express the average speed? How you will express average speed?
Sigma V by capital N.
Sorry? Yeah, you don't want to remember one molecule. Like, average of, yeah, it is actually summation over Vi divided by N, or V1 plus V2 plus etc. summation of all speed divided by total number of molecules. And the V average, it is equal to 8 RT divided by pi m for 1 mole. R is universal gas constant, T is temperature, pi 3.14, m is molar mass. The next one, the one which we already discussed, it is root mean square speed. Root of mean of squares of all molecular speeds is known as root mean square speed, or it is defined as if n molecules having speeds v1, v2, etc., vn, I can write Vrms is equal to root of mean, means it should be divided by n, mean of squares of all molecular speeds. So v1 square plus v2 square plus etc. plus vn square divided by n. So this is Vrms, or Vrms, I can write Vrms formula, it is equal to this derivation and all those things, it's not needed for you. So you just want to study the equation. Vrms is equal to root of 3 RT by m. Root of 3 RT by m. So which one is highest? Average speed, root mean square speed, and most probable speed. Which one is
It's
higher?
RMS, right? VRMS.
Which one?
VRMS is higher, right?
Yes, Vrms.
Can you repeat the question? What was?
Sorry?
Can you repeat the question? What was it?
Which one is having high magnitude, or which one is having high value at a certain temperature? If I'm fixing the temperature, V average, V, MP, and root mean square speed, which one will have high value? Yes, it is root mean square. What is the value of root 3? If we are looking into this, actually all these temperature is having a common factor, which is root RT by M. And if I'm just taking VMP is root 2 into root RT by M. And this is root 8 by pi into root RT by M. And this is root 3 into root RT by M. And if you are comparing these values, VMP value will be greater since it is multiplying it with root 3. Root 3 value is 1.73 and root 2 it is 1.41, and 8 by pi it will be 8 into 8 by 27 by 3. Sorry, not 27 by 3, right? 22 by 7. 22 by 7. So it will be equal to 56 by 22. So it is more than, it will be equal to 2 point something. So root of 2 point something. So it is more than the most probable speed. So the order of this velocity is Vrms is greater than V average is greater than VMP. So this is the order of velocities or order of speed. The next one question, just do this. Calculate RMS speed of O2 gas molecule at 27 degrees Celsius. Calculate RMS speed of O2 gas molecule at 27 degrees Celsius. Yeah, temperature should be in Kelvin. And what is the R value which you are going to use?
1.3 and 4.
R value. What is the R value?
8.3 and 4.
Yes, it should be 8.314. Because I can tell you the reason when explaining. The R value should be 8.314. Just find the value. Value of velocity, speed. RMS speed. Do it fast. We have to we are very slow, I guess. It's taking so much time. Calculate RMS speed of O2 gas molecule at 27 degrees Celsius. The formula is root 3 RT by M. M is molar mass, T is temperature, R is 8.314. If you want, you can use 25 by 3. Or if you have calculator, you can use 8.3. Both of them. Use 25 by 3. Yeah, that's right.
Getting 15.3 meters.
15.3.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Even I'm getting that.
Wrong. Any other answer? What is the unit of speed? What is the unit of speed? SI unit?
Second.
Meter per second, right? Okay, what you have done, I can tell you. Vrms is equal to root 3 RT by M. So it is 3 into 8.314 into 300 divided by 32. This is what you done, right?
Yes, ma'am.
8.314 joule, Kelvin inverse, mole inverse, and temperature in Kelvin. Molar mass should be in gram or kilogram. If you want to get the SI unit of speed. 15.29. No, it is not the right way. Because R is joule, Kelvin inverse, mole inverse means joule, it is F into S, right? So it is kilogram. Kilogram meter square second raised to minus 2. Yes, kilogram meter per second. This is right. 1 joule is equal to 1 kilogram meter square per second square, right? Yes, like the force unit will be MA, which is kilogram meter per second square, and S is displacement, it is meter. So 1 joule is equal to 1 kilogram meter square by second raised to minus 2. So our unit is kilogram meter square second raised to -2 Kelvin inverse mole inverse divided by, RT. So T unit is Kelvin divided by, if we are taking gram per mole, how you will get the equation in meter per second, or how you will solve this? Kilogram divided by gram, is it possible? So it should be in kilogram per mole. The molar mass should be in kilogram per mole. Then you will, this and this will cancel out, and this will cancel this. Then you will get root of meter square second raised to -2 or meter per second.
Yes, it will be 483.6.
Yes. Yes.
Ma'am, we have to find the RMS for a single molecule.
No, this is mass of, since we are using, okay, calculate the
Your O2 gas molecules.
O2 gas molecule at 27 degrees Celsius, right?
Ma'am, it doesn't make sense for a single molecule. RMS for a group of molecules. Right.
But it will be same. Actually, it will be same. If you are writing by Na, by Na.
Okay, ma'am.
It's 400 something, just calculate. It is near to 500.
Getting 483.6.
Yeah, yes. So you should take, so if you are calculating the RMS speed, remember it should be, R value should be 8.314 and M should be in kilogram. And if you forgot this thing, you are going to end with a wrong answer. And that answer will be there in the option. That is a problem. You think that, okay, I got the answer, and you will choose that, and that will be a wrong answer. So the answer will be 480. What's the answer? 480?
483.6.
483.6 meter per second. So R should be 8.314 and M should be in kilogram. Okay, next question. The average speed of sample of CH4 at 327 degrees Celsius is X. Then at what temperature its value will be 3x. You can use the same logic which you used in the case of kinetic energy calculations. R, if you are taking a particular gas, M is a constant and R is a constant, and velocity, it is related with temperature in some manner, or it is a constant into this, and you can use that thing and tell me what will be the temperature. Average speed, V average is equal to 8 RT by pi M. R is a constant, pi is a constant, 8 is a constant, M molar mass. If it is for a particular gas, M is also a constant. So what will be the temperature? Use the same logic.
Oh, ma'am, is it 5,400?
Yes, it is 5,400. And the difference is, in case of kinetic energy was directly proportional to temperature. Here, the average speed or anything, if it is RMS, if it is what is that most probable, everything is same. Here the only difference is V average, it is directly proportional to root T. Instead of T, here it is root T. So it's simply V average 1 divided by V.
Ma'am, when we get the answer, should we leave it in Kelvin or should we convert it to Celsius?
Should be?
Should we convert it back to degrees Celsius or?
No, if they are asking in Kelvin, you can just keep it in Kelvin. Like if it is like this is a subjective question, if you are writing this Kelvin, it is fine. But if they ask like what will be the temperature in degrees Celsius, then you should convert. Otherwise, it's fine. Like Kelvin scale answer, it is fine. So V average 1 by V average 2, it is equal to root T1 by T2. So the first temperature, first value was X. X divided by 3X is equal to root of T1, 327 degrees Celsius. So it is 600 divided by T2. So on squaring, it will be X square divided by 9X square is equal to 600 by T2. And X square will cancel out. And T2 is equal to 9 into 600, which is equal to 5400 Kelvin. And this is the answer. And some kind of questions you can expect. Just a minute. You can expect like VRMS. Okay, if I'm telling like VRMS of H2 is equal to VRMS, such question you can expect VRMS of H2 at temperature T1. At temperature T1 is equal to T1 value, just take it as 300 Kelvin. It is equal to VRMS of O2 at temperature T2. No, that was the previous question was for a particular gas. Okay. Yes. So here, how you will solve this? Yes, equate both of them like root 3 are. Yes, that is fine. But I will write this T1 by M1 is equal to T2 by M2. This is the formula you should use in this type of questions. And how we will get this? It is simply the actual way of solving this question. The VRMS of H2 at temperature T1 is equal to 300 Kelvin. It is VRMS of O2 at temperature T2. Then find T2. That is the question. You got my question, right? So actually, you will solve like root 3 R T of H2 divided by molecular mass of H2 is equal to root 3 R T of O2 divided by molecular mass of O2. And then you will square this, then such kind of like you should square this 3RTH2 divided by MH2 is equal to 3RTO2 divided by MO2.
Getting 4,800.
And finally you will get this TH2 by MH2 is equal to TO2 by MO2. And instead of doing this, you can directly take this, right? If it is equal, TH2 by MH2 is equal to TO2 by MO2, use that equation and directly find it. No need to do these things. And what is the answer? T of
4,800 Kelvin.
Okay. T of H2, it is 300 divided by molecular mass of H2 divided by T of O2, 32. So 150 into 32 is equal to DO2. 4,000? Yeah,
4,800.
4,000. Yes, that is the answer. The next thing, then one more question is there that we will discuss after the explanation. Just so about molecular speeds, you know that not every molecules are moving in a particular velocity, and some of the molecules will move in a certain velocity, and the others will move in other velocity due to their collision. So the next question was how you will express the molecular speeds of molecule. And we can't express the molecular speeds of each molecules. That was not possible. Then the thing was we can express the probability or the distribution of molecular speeds at a particular temperature, and that is a constant. Just like I can tell you, there is a 500 molecules present in a container, and just like there is a distribution, whereas 300 molecule is having a velocity 5 meters per second, and 100 molecule is having a velocity 3, and 100 is having 2, like not like 3, like certain kind of like 4, 5 kind of set of molecules will have separate velocities. Just for simplicity, I'm taking only 3 sets. So 500 molecules, among that 300 molecules having a particular velocity and 100 molecules having a particular velocity, 3 and 100 is having 2. And if you are considering at a particular temperature, this distribution is going to be a constant, which means if 300 molecule, it doesn't mean a particular molecule will have a fixed speed. It will be like 300 and there will be change in velocity or there will be change in speed, but the number of molecules having a particular velocity will remain as a constant at a particular temperature. Like speed exchange, speed will change. This like 300 molecule, I can tell you, like among this 100 molecule get 100 molecule, 200, among this 100 molecule got an energy and it loses its speed, it reduces its speed and having 3 meters per second. At the same time, this 100 molecule or any of the 100 molecule will increase the speed and will get 5 meters per second. Or the number of molecules having a particular velocity or the fraction of molecule will remain as a constant if we are keeping the temperature as a constant. The distribution of molecular speed is a constant at a particular temperature. This is what found by Maxwell's and Boltzmann. Actually, this curve sometimes means many names are there. Maxwell's distribution of molecular speed or the Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution of molecular speed. Actually, this is Maxwell's-Boltzmann distribution of molecular speeds. Maxwell and Boltzmann both find this distribution, how these molecular speeds are distributed among molecules in a container or among molecules. So this is actually, it is based on, and why these molecular speeds are changing? Due to the molecular random collision or due to the random collision, molecule speeds will change. And this is a proposal by Maxwell and Boltzmann, and it is based upon the law of probability. You can write it is based upon law of probability. And it this concept, it gives you an statistical average of speed of molecule in the whole container or in the whole gas molecules. And they derived an equation. Actually, this equation is not there in your syllabus, but you can just read this, or no need to study, like you can just understand this, what it means. dn is equal to 4 pi n divide 4 pi n m by 2 pi rt 3 by 2 v square e raised to minus m v square by 2 rt into dv. And this equation is for 1 mole of gas. Sorry, just this m is molar mass. No need to remember this equation. This is a PG step. I want to explain this curve. For that, I just introduced this equation, and this equation is not there in your syllabus, and you can't find this equation in text. It is not there. So dn is equal to 4 pi n m by 2 pi rt all raised to 3 by 2 v square c raised to minus m v square by 2 rt into dv. Actually, I studied this equation in terms of c. Like you can find the velocity or speed, different types u, v, c. And in most of the standard text, you can find it in terms of c. It is 4 pi n m by 2 pi rt all raised to 3 by 2 c square e raised to minus mc square by 2 rt into dc. Or it doesn't matter, like if we are expressing in b or if we are expressing in c, both are speeds. Like they are just changing the representation of that speed, the letter. So this is the function dn is equal to 4 pi n m by 2 pi rt all raised to 3 by 2 v square e raised to minus m v square by 2 rt into dv. This equation is for 1 mole of gas. Okay, and you can change this equation for 1 molecule of gas. 1 molecule of gas by changing the m with small m and r with k. If I'm changing that, it will be like 4 pi n m by 2 pi kt all raised to 3 by 2 v square e raised to minus m should be small m, which is mass of 1 molecule, and r should be k. We are changing capital M into small m and r into k, Boltzmann constant. You will get the Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution for 1 molecule, and this function is for 1 mole of gas. And dn represent number of molecules. The dn is actually number of molecules having velocity between v and v plus dc. You can write dn represents number of molecules having velocity or having speed. Having speed between v and v plus dv. Or should I write c? dn by dn is equal to, like I just don't want to, if I write c, don't get confused that v and c is different thing. Actually, in standard books and everything, you can find only in terms of c. I will write it in c. You can change it in c actually. It will be c square into mc square into dc. So this is simply the speed itself, like what we explained, Vrms, Vmp and V average, they are all speed, and C is also speed. It's just another expression, or it's itself V. Both are same, C and V both are same. So dn represents number of molecules having velocity between c and c plus dc. And I can rewrite this equation like, just a minute. Where should I write? Rewrite this equation as 1 by n dn by dc is equal to 4 pi m by 2 pi rp all raised to 3 by 2 c square e raised to minus mc square by 2 rp.
Ma'am, is c speed of light or is it something else?
Yeah, that's why I write it as v. This is speed of gas molecules, not speed of light. It is equal to v itself. It is v, speed of gas molecule.
Okay, ma'am.
The thing is, like in standard text, you can find only the equation in terms of this only, like dc. And if you are writing, instead of c, if you are writing v also, that is right. This is, okay, you can write c, it is speed of gas molecules. And that will vary. Okay, that is not speed of light, or there is no connection with that c which you studied in physics and in chemistry, which we are using. There is no relation, and this is simply speed, or this is simply v. This is simply what
This speed, is it like root mean square speed, or what is it? Is the speed of each molecule?
this is speed of molecules, and we found this VMP and VRMS and V thing using this expression actually. Using this Maxwell distribution of molecular speeds function, we found those values and those equations and this derivation also, but you don't need to study that.
So ma'am, c is just the speed of each molecule.
C is the speed with which gas molecule moves at a particular temperature. This
But different molecules have different speeds, right? Which one is it?
molecules?
Different molecules will have different speeds, right?
Yes, different molecules will have different speeds.
So which molecule is it?
Based upon that, we are going to draw this curve.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, this is simply the molecules, like okay, I can write like number of molecules having a speed between C and C plus DC, which means a fraction, like if I'm taking like 3 or 100 and DC as 1. So between 100 and 101 meter per second, the number of molecules having velocities between these range will depends upon the total number of molecules and also the speed possessed by the molecules. C. It will depends upon N and C. Actually, you don't need to like complicate these things, and you don't need to study this. We just want that curve. What is the curve nature? And if you want to know like number of molecules having speed between C and C plus DC, it depends upon the total number of molecules as well as the speed possessed by molecules. So based upon this, and we can write 1 by n dn by dc, and it is equal to P of C or probability. This represents probability of finding molecules with having speed between C and C plus dc. This thing represents probability of finding molecules having speed between C and C plus DC. Probability of finding molecules having speed between C and C plus DC. And they wrote a curve between probability and speed. The curve nature is like this. At 0, it starts from origin and it's extending to infinity, which means the probability of having 0 speed, the probability of having 0 speed is 0, which means gas molecules at any time it will have a certain speed. Probability of having zero speed is zero, which means no gas molecule is stationary. No gas molecule is stationary. Every molecules are in rapid random motion. No molecule is stationary. So this is the probability curve which they draw. And this is 1 by one by n dn by dc. 1 by n dn by dc. And the important features of the curve. And this curve is a constant at a particular temperature. Or this is an isotherm. Okay, this is a curve which we are drawing at constant temperature and at constant temperature at a particular, for a particular amount of gas at constant temperature, this curve is a constant. This curve will not change for a particular gas at constant temperature. But the distribution of molecular speeds at a particular temperature is a constant. Then the thing is, what are the important features of this curve? What are the important features? Is that clear for everyone how we drawn this or what you mean by? Yes. The concept. There is a probability function. They defined the equation. They found this equation, the relation, and based upon that, they wrote the curve probability versus speed. Actually, you can find different curves, like in some textures they will be writing like number of molecules, dn versus c, and sometimes they will write dn by n by versus c, and in some textures you can find dn by dc versus c, and different curves you can find actually. Different curves you can find, and all those are same nature, this curve natural. And if I'm drawing in, I think in your text it is defined like number of molecule versus speed, dn versus speed. And if we are drawing this dn versus speed also, you will get the same curve natural. And then what are the, is that clear?
The highest speed and all that will depend on the gas, right?
The highest?
Like the values will depend on the gases, right?
Yes, values will depend upon the gas as well as temperature. If we change the temperature, that will change, or if we change the gas also, that will change.
Yes.
Okay. So what is this velocity or what is this speed? What is this speed?
Will it be the most probable speed?
Yes, it is the most probable speed. The speed which has high probability to find, or the speed processed by maximum fraction of molecule. So this is VMP. And let's consider what are the important features of the curve. The fraction of molecule with too low or too high velocity is very small. If you are looking into the curve, and you can write the fraction of molecule having zero speed, it is zero, which means no gas molecule is stationary. And the next thing is fraction of molecule having too low velocity and too high velocity. It is very small. The next one is maximum fraction of molecule possess a common velocity which is represented by peak of the curve, and it is known as most probable speed. The maximum fraction of molecule possess a particular velocity, maximum fraction of molecules possess a particular velocity, and it is known as most probable speed, and it's represented by the peak of the curve. So it is represented by the peak of the curve. So here I here I represented 3 speeds. And can you please identify what are these speeds? VMP, VRMS, and V average. Assign these speeds.
The first one will be VMP, the second one will be V average, and third one will be VRMS.
Second one is?
V average.
Yes. The third one is VRMS. As we know the order, VRMS is greater than V average is greater than VMP. And VMP is the velocity which corresponds to this peak, which contain maximum fraction of molecules. So, what is this ratio? VMP is to,
Ma'am, can you scroll up a bit?
sorry?
Now can you scroll up a bit? Yes, ma'am, one second.
Okay. So what is this ratio? VMP is to V average is to VRMS.
Ma'am, if you cancel the RT by M in all of them, you'll get 2 is to 8.
Yes.
To 8 by pi is to 3.
Yes, VMP is root 2 RT by
Yeah, root 2.
and this is root 8 RT by M, and this is root
3
3
RT by
RT by M. Okay, let's find VRMS is to. Sorry, VRMS is the highest one, right? So VMP is to VR average is to.
Ma'am, isn't V average 8 RT by pi m?
Yes.
V average equals root 8 RT by pi m.
Yes, pi m. Yes, pi is there. Sorry. So it is root 2 is to root 8 by pi is to root 3. And if I'm dividing everything with root 2, what will be the ratio?
No, 1 is to 2 by pi is to root 3 by 2.
1 is to root 8 by 2m into root 3 by 2. And it will be equal to not root 3 by, yes, root 3 by 2.
No, it's 2 by pi, right?
Equal to 1 is to 1.128 is to 1.224. And if it is possible, please study this ratio. VMP is to V average is to VRMS. And this, if you are studying this ratio, there is one advantage. Some questions will be there. VMP of O2 gas is this. Let's take it as X. And what is VRMS of O2 at the same temperature? How you will find this? Yes, it is what? Not root 3 times.
1.2 to 4x.
1.224. So if you know the ratio, you can find it easily. Like sometimes they will ask the simple question like VMP of O2 is, okay, I can tell you one question. VMP of O2 at a particular temperature, it is 100 centimeter per second. It is 100 centimeter per second. Then what is VRMS of O2 at same temperature? It should be at same temperature, otherwise the answer will be different. Yes, it is 122.4 centimeter per second. So if you know the ratio, you can use these things. If we give VMP and ask VRMS, you can use this. And if they give VRMS and they ask VMP, if this ratio will be 1 is to 0.918. 0.918 is to 0.819. This is simple, no? 0.918, 0.819. Some relations are. So,
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
yes.
Ma'am, how did they get this different ratio?
How you will find VRMS is to VMP? Okay, I can just tell you. if VMP is 1, VRMS will be 1.224 because VRMS is greater than VMP, right? If VRMS is 1, what will be the value of VMP?
All right, never mind. I got it.
1 by 1.224. Yes. Yes, or otherwise, just study only one ratio, which is VMP is to V average is to VRMS or anything, and you can just find this ratio by dividing it with 1.224. If I'm asking VRMS is to V average is to VMP, if you are dividing it with 1.224, you will get 1 is to 0. This is to this one. Anyhow, just that's your comfort of study. The next one is area under the curve. Area under the curve is constant at all temperature. Area under the curve is constant at all temperature. And what will be the total area of this curve? Or I can write, okay, and just leave it. So area under the curve is constant at all temperature. And if there is a y and x graph, how you will find the area of this curve? It is like this. How you will find the area of this curve?
Integration y dx.
Y dx, yes. Integral y dx. Like that, here we did 1 by n dn by dc, right? 1 by n dn by dc. 1 by n dn by dc. So the area equal to integral y dx. So it is integral 1 by n dn by dc into d of speed, which is c. Okay, this actually you can write CMP or VMP, that doesn't matter. Okay, the V and C are both same. Like, okay, oh, I should use V itself. No, okay, that's fine. Like you can use V or you can use C, that doesn't matter. Okay, so 1 by n dn by dc into dc, or it is equal to integral of dn by n. It's equal to integral of dn by n. So it represents, area under the curve represents the total fraction of molecules. Total fraction of molecules. I can write like if what will be the area if I took the whole total, like this area, what will be this area value? If I took whole area of this curve, what will be the value? What will be the value? Integral of a fraction, the whole fraction.
Will it be ln n or something?
1
Log n. 1.
log n, but the whole, after all calculation, you will get 1.
How?
At the n in the last integral is a constant, so you bring it out, it's 1 by n.
Oh, all right.
And then dn integration is just n, so n by n is
All
1.
right. I got it.
Or it is total fraction, no? The total means the actual, the value, the maximum value which we can get, it is right. And if I'm taking particular ratio. Just take it as like after this, if I'm taking the area of this much curve, area of this much curve, I will get the value which is fraction of molecules, fraction of molecules having velocity greater than this, having speed greater than a particular value, or having speed, if I'm taking this as, okay, this as C, fraction of molecule having speed greater than C. Or you can write any of the fraction, like if you are taking a particular area at a particular point, this represents the fraction of molecule having speed greater than this velocity. Oh. You got my point? If this got confused, like these much things here, I will. So the whole area will be equal to 1 since we took probability. Since we took probability per, this will start. You should draw this curve nicely. Okay. So if I'm taking the area after a particular point, this area represents the fraction of molecule having velocity. If this velocity is C, represents fraction of molecule having velocity greater than this velocity, greater than this C value. The fraction of molecule, sorry, not velocity, having speed. Fraction of molecule having speed greater than C. And so this is one way. And then one more way is there actually, like, so if I'm taking probability versus number of moles curve, I will get this. If I'm taking the number of molecules, dN by dC, the number of molecules having a particular velocity between C and C plus dC versus speed, I will get the same curve actually. Same curve. And in that case, area will be equal to integral of dN by dC into dC. And it will be equal to integral dN, which means the total number of molecules. This I explained just because in some books you can also find this graph. In some, and like if you are searching this Maxwell's distribution of molecular speeds, actually you can find dN by dC versus speed curve, and you can also find probability versus speed curve. So if I'm taking dN by dC, number of molecules versus speed, the area represents total number of molecules. If it is fraction, but if it is probability, it represents the fraction of molecules and the total area. Here the total area will be equal to total number of molecules. And if I'm taking a particular area, it will be equal to the number of molecules having speed greater than that particular speed. Is that clear for everyone? Any doubt? Clear? Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Like sometimes it may be confusing. Just go through it, and after that, if you have any doubt, you just ask me. Okay? Like it is some complicated things. Like,
Ma'am, I just have one clarification.
okay.
Ma'am, in the dN by dC graph, dC will be like the speed that is taken, right? And you multiplied it for the integration.
dN by dC, it is actually the number of molecules having speed between C and C plus dC. Just like a rate of change of thing. Like the number of molecules having, it represents the number of molecules having speed between C and C plus dC. Is that your doubt?
And the DC is the speed, right?
Yeah, DC is speed. It's just like the area will be equal to y into dx. So y is dn by dc. And dx, in x, it is speed, no? C. So
Yes, ma'am, I got it now.
okay. So if I'm taking like this, that area represents number of molecules. So here it represents total fraction of molecules. And the next one is effect of temperature on distribution of molecular speeds. Effect of temperature on distribution of molecular speeds. And by changing temperature, what will happen? That is the question. So as temperature increases, and actually we studied that area under the curve is constant at all temperature. That also you should note. The next one is effect of temperature on distribution of molecular speeds. If we decrease the temperature, if we increase the temperature, here this order is T1 is less than, T2 is less than T3. As temperature increases, height decreases and width increases. And just a minute, I forgot to tell you one thing, which is just explain it like. Okay, just note one more thing before explaining temperature relation. This is VMP, V average, and V RMS. So we know that value of velocity order, value of speed or value of velocity order is VMP less than V average less than V RMS. Then what will be the order of fraction of molecule? Let's take these points as A, B, and C. The value of speed, it is VA less than VB less than VA less than VB less than VRMS. The order of fraction of molecule processing velocity. Processing speed. What will be this order of fraction of molecule processing velocity in these points of A, B, C?
A is greater than B greater than C.
A is
Greater than B greater than C.
A is greater than B is greater than C. And if you are just looking, this is A, right? And this is B. And this is C. And it is actually the opposite order. If the value of speed, it is A less than B less than C. The fraction of molecule possessing this speed will be A greater than B greater than C. This is the opposite order. Everybody, you got it? What I'm trying to say?
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
ma'am, is it A less than B less than C or A greater than B less than C?
Yes, if I'm.
No, which is it?
If I didn't. Sorry?
Which is it? Is it A greater than B greater than C or A less than B less than C?
This is value of speed. A less than B less than C, right? If I'm taking 3 points without mentioning VMP, V average, VRMS, the value of speed will be A less than B less than C. And the fraction of molecule processing speed will be, this is A greater than B greater than C. Or the speed order and the fraction of molecule processing speed order will be like opposite. Is that clear? The thing is, the answer is this only, fraction of molecule processing speed A greater than B greater than C. This order
Yes,
is for value of speed. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So the next one is effect of temperature on distribution of molecular speed. So on decreasing the temperature, you can write on decreasing the temperature, curve becomes flatter. Curve becomes flatter. That is shifted
Shouldn't it be on increasing?
on increasing the temperature. I said it like decreasing, okay. On increasing the temperature, curve becomes flatter. That is shifted to the right hand side. Curve becomes flatter. That is shifted to the right hand side. Curve becomes flatter. That is shifted to the right hand side. And you can also write the same point. I can write it in another way. As temperature increases, height of the curve decreases. And as we know, area is a constant, right? So if the height decreases, what change should occur for width?
Increases.
It should increase. If the height decreases, width should increase because the height decreases, width should increase because the area under the curve is a constant. So you can write as temperature increases, height decreases. As temperature increases, height decreases. And what does it mean? Height decreases means, can you please tell me like,
VMP decreases.
what? The height was here at the same, and then it decreases to this, like, so what does it mean?
VMP is increasing.
So
And the probability for VMP decreases.
yes, probability for VMP decreases, and not for only VMP. If you are taking any velocity, this probability is decreasing, right? If you're taking any velocity, just take this point. It was here, and for this speed, the probability was here. As temperature increases, probability decreases. And the probability term, I can define in one way, like fraction of molecule possessing a particular velocity decreases. Probability is just simply fraction, no? The total sum of probability is 1 and total fraction of molecules is also 1. So what you mean by probability? It's just simply fraction. Are you agreeing with this?
Yes, ma'am.
So either I can write fraction probability of finding of molecule possessing a particular velocity decreases, or you can write fraction of molecule possessing a particular velocity decreases. As height decreases, which means fraction of molecule possessing a particular velocity decreases. So at any case of, at any velocity, this fraction or this probability is decreasing as temperature increases. Is that clear for everyone? Any doubt? Any doubt? No? Okay. And you can also write that is number of molecule possessing most probable velocity decreases with increasing temperature. Like this kind of questions also you can expect in JEE. Like there will be like some statements will be given and they will ask which of the following is true and which of the following is false. Number of molecule possessing most probable velocity decreases with increasing temperature. Or in a general.
Could you write it down?
Sorry?
Could you write it down?
Yes, you should.
No, could you write it down? So
Oh, me, okay.
yes, ma'am.
So the first one it's completed. No? So number of molecules possessing most probable velocity decreases with increasing temperature. And the next one is, as temperature increases, width decreases. Width decreases. So if I'm taking a particular point, let's take this point. Okay, taking this particular point. Just consider these areas. This is the first curve area, and this is the second curve area. Sorry, this is the third curve area. And okay, I will just delete one curve, like to compare with. If I'm writing 3 curves, it would be very difficult. So I will write T3, I will just delete. Okay, so if you're comparing width, this is the area and this is the second curve area. So as temperature increases, this area increases, right? And what does it mean? What was this, the area? What was this area? What was this area? What is it mean?
Oh, ma'am, which area?
This area. Like if I'm talking about this at this particular point, the speed is c, then can you please tell me what this area means? What is its significance? The area after this point.
Ma'am, I think it's the total probability of finding molecules with a speed higher than c.
Higher than c, or fraction of molecule having a speed greater than c, right? This is the fraction of molecule having speed greater than this value, and any of this molecule is having speed greater than this value, right? So this area, is it clear? This area represents fraction of molecule having speed greater than c. So as width increase, as temperature increases, width increases. And if you are comparing these two areas, the T1 curve area and T2 curve area, which one is high? Which one is higher? Which one is greater? Yes. Which one is greater? I'm not talking about the whole area. I'm talking about the area after this point. Yes. Oh, I got disconnected again. Yes. Hello. Hello.
Your screen was still sharing, we could see it.
Okay. So in this area, the area of first curve and area of second curve, which one is greater?
Shouldn't be the same.
Will it be the same? It's,
And which two curves are you talking about?
yes, it's two curves area is same, and that was total area. Total area will be same. It will not change. I'm talking about the area after this point. Is it same? It looks like same.
So I thought you were asking about the total area.
The shaded area, which one is greater? Okay, I can just, okay, just a minute. Just a minute, just a minute. Okay. Okay, this is the curve. Okay, so these are the curve, T1 curve and T2 curve. And this shaded area, as we discussed, this represents fraction of molecules having speed greater than c. Is that clear for everyone? Or any doubt in this statement? This area or the point, like this area after this point, if the speed is c at this point, this area represents fraction of molecule having speed greater than c. Is that clear for everyone? Or if it is not, just ask me or just tell me. Is there any doubt regarding this?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so if you are taking the first curve, the area was this, right? The area was this. And if I'm taking the second curve, the area is this, up to here to the bottom. So which area is higher? For the first curve or for the T2 curve or for the T1 curve?
The T2 curve.
T2 curve. So as temperature increases, width decreases. Sorry, width, not width decreases, width increases. Since height is decreasing, width should increase, no? So width increases. As temperature increases, width increases. Or I can say the shaded area represents fraction of molecule possessing a velocity greater than c. You should draw this curve like this, 2 curve and this shaded area, and you should denote it as c. So after that only you should write this. Shaded area represents fraction of molecule possessing a speed greater than c. Or in general, you can say as temperature increases. In general, you can say as temperature increases, fraction of molecule possessing a particular velocity, possessing speed greater than a particular value increases. Or you don't need to write it. Like if you want to write, you can write. And if you got the point, you can write, or otherwise you can leave it. Like that is not an important, like for board exam, I don't think they will ask. Fraction of molecule possessing speed greater than a particular value, greater than a particular speed increases. So if you are taking any of the speed, let's take it as here, let's take it as VMP or anything. The fraction of molecule having velocity greater than this speed increases as temperature increases. And one more thing, one last point, this e raised to minus mc square by 2RT, it's known as Boltzmann factor. It's known as Boltzmann factor. You can note it like that, known as Boltzmann factor. E raised to minus mc square by 2RT. And this equation, no, you don't need to remember this equation. But if like if there are some objective question, like e raised to minus mc, and that is not there in your syllabus, of course. What is this factor represents? It is not there in your syllabus.
And what is it called?
A Boltzmann factor, e raised to minus mc square by 2kt represents Boltzmann factor. E raised to minus mc square by 2kt represents Boltzmann factor. Actually, this is, you can also write e raised to minus e by kt. When it's okay, that is not needed for, I think it's no, this much, it's not needed for here, 11th. So e raised to minus mc square by 2kt is known as Boltzmann factor. And what is the time? Okay. So this is about, yeah, one single point is there. Okay, anyhow, okay, we will discuss in the next class. This point, which means number of molecule possessing most probable velocity, decreases with increasing temperature. The number of molecule possessing most probable velocity decreases with increasing temperature. Or one more point is that the value of or most probable velocity increases as temperature increases. Or actually any of the velocity increases as temperature increases. We know that as temperature increases, velocity will increase and average kinetic energy will increase. And that's why that change occurs by increasing temperature. And that you can explain VMP is directly proportional to root T. As temperature increases, VMP should increase. And one more comparison is there, and that we'll discuss in the next class. Like the comparison, if what will happen if the molecules changes, if the gas changes, depending upon the nature of gas. There is one more explanation, and that we will discuss in the next class. Thank you actually for your time. It's already 1:25, right? Okay, I hope it's clear for everyone. And go through it clearly by today itself. Like if you're reading it after 2-3 days, you won't get anything. It's like you don't need to study this actually. If you're reading this like by just, if you're going through these lines and just remembering the class, you will be, I hope you will be able to understand this clearly and read this today itself, or otherwise it will be like confusing. So you should read